welcome back to the studio. I wasn't planning on videoing this because it's just a simple project, but something happened and I thought I might just show you. My Platinum Art Coat resin part A has solidified. It was solid, it wasn't totally solid, but you know, solid enough that it wouldn't move, it wouldn't pour, but it was just like rubber. So I've just warmed up some water in a kettle and then popped it in with some cool water because I wasn't sure if I could just put this whole thing in boiling hot water. And it's moving, so that's great. And I'm going to see now if that's good enough. I've got my scale here. This is 1:1 ratio, and I've got my scale. Just need to turn it on. So I've got 305 grams there, and I'm going to do another 300. See how this goes. Oh yeah, it's going. Oh, 195. I've got to watch this so my scale doesn't. 200. So I'll pop the whole thing in hot water again. Oh, my face is in the way. So yeah, a big blob there. Gotta be careful I don't stuff this up. Need another 50 grams. Okay, let's move it around a bit. 255, so I need 50 more grams just in case my scale turns off. Pop it back in the water. Doesn't take long, this only took 5 minutes. And now that there's less in there, shouldn't be that much. I'm just wiping this because I don't want any water going in my resin. So that's 255, 250. I'll just turn it off and back on just in case it decides to turn off. And another 50 grams should be going in there. Oh, there we go. 52. That's all right. 2 grams won't matter in this big amount. Okay, so now that I've got that there, I'm going to pop it back in my water here and stir it until it's all combined and no stringy bits. So this will go nice and warm because I'm stirring it. It was a bit hard to stir in that bottle, as you can imagine. Here's see that? That's all got to be nicely dissolved. So I'm probably going to do this for about 5 minutes. Okay, so that looks good. This is a thicker resin, that's why it still looks a bit thick. There's no strings in there. There's about 1 million bubbles, which is fine because this is a self-gassing resin. And anyway, we're going to help it along. I just got a couple of spots here that I have to get out. Don't want any of that stuff in there. And now we're just going to wipe it. So like I said, don't want any water in there. And we are going to cover this beautiful piece of timber that's been beautifully sanded. And it's going to be turned into a table, a coffee table. So here we go. Straight in the middle. I've got about 600 milliliters of resin here, and that's probably too much, so I better figure out what to do with the rest because I want to put a nice sort of thin layer if possible. I could use my hands. I just use the spatula for now. Look how beautifully the color of that timber pops. Absolutely stunning. I am going to use my hands because it's quicker for me to do it that way. The resin is nice and cool. I'm just going all the way up to the edge. Of course, the table and the piece have been leveled. Okay, we're going to pop some more in there. Okay, so I've sped this up because it's pretty much self-explanatory what I'm doing here, just spreading it with my hands, and it's so satisfying doing that and adding more and more and more. And I didn't think it was going to use that much resin, but yeah, it ended up being just enough for this layer. And now the heat gun, and I've got that attachment attached sideways because it's easier for me to go side to side, and then adding some more of the resin, just mainly on the edges because the edges were showing. And this resin just seems so thirsty, you know. I could see it disappearing. I'm disappearing as I keep going, and just just going around, making sure that those edges are done. That's pretty good. I could let that sit for another, I guess, half an hour. So I could go some more there before I start applying some to the sides, but I think I might give it a go. Hopefully it won't leak too much. Or maybe I might just wait because see how it's pulling. So I might just add some more of this one. This stem is very thirsty. I have to go around the other side to do the other side because this thing's too heavy to move. And that's it. Now I'm going to leave it alone. Every now and then I'm going to come and pull my hand over the edge like this to keep it nice and smooth, and that's it. I'll show you when it's all done and finished.